That's better. Crisis. What crisis? 4-0 win at home to Morecambe in the FA Cup third round. As a Chelsea fan, pretty happy, to be honest. It was a game where you would expect nothing less than a win. But I think Lampard was under a bit of pressure going into this one as a must-win, and more importantly, the performance. I spoke to a friend of mine, and we were quite surprised at the strength of the lineup when the lineups came out. I mean, apart from maybe Billy Gilmore, there were no introduction of debutants. And when we've got the strength in depth that we have, I think it was just surprising that he didn't gamble with any debutants or younger players. I mean, we had Hudson-Odoi, Kepa, Rudiger, Emerson, but I mean, these are all top class, in-form, top class regulars for other clubs that they've been with before. Another interesting point really was the Werner and Havertz both started, which I think all Chelsea fans wanted, considering they are desperate really to get some confidence. And, despite playing lower league opposition, I think it was really important that they got off the mark today. And luckily enough, they did, which was great, because from their perspective and from a fan's perspective, I think it was a bit of relief, to be quite honest with you, that both of them managed to score, both of them managed to create some chances. And I think going forwards, that might be a catalyst for them to get the next strength, go on, and be able to take their chances a bit better going in future games. It was I wouldn't say, we didn't really learn a lot from the game, because we were expected, despite the form that we've been in recently, I think we were expected to win that, League Two opposition. Never played them at that stage of the competition before. I think there was a statistic that came up actually on the BBC that I think it's something like 36 years or something like that, where we've progressed from the third round for 36 straight years, which is crazy, really. But we didn't learn a lot from a Chelsea point of view, because it's all about the quality of opposition. We all know that we haven't won a game against teams in the top half or in that top 8 in the league, in our own league. And although we had quite a good run in the Champions League in terms of playing other teams in Europe, we had quite an easy group. So I think we didn't learn a lot. But, in these kind of games, it's just about the result and getting through those early stages. We got to the FA Cup final last year, of course. And we've got to go for it again. I think Frank Lampard's really got to be realistic and think, well, yes, we're still in the title race. I think it'd be naive to say that we're not, even though the poor run of results suggest otherwise, because there's, the season's so open. But it was good. I mean, if we analyse the game stage by stage, Morecambe had an early chance, good save really from Kepa, who it was great to see him back in the starting 11. I actually think that Kepa has more ability and is a better goalkeeper than Mendy. I mean, I don't know a lot about Mendy, so I think that might be a little bit unfair, because Mendy needs time and we don't really know a lot of his background. But Kepa came back in, really important that he got the clean sheet, and he made some good saves, to be fair to him. But I just think on a personal level, I don't know if other Chelsea fans or football fans agree, but I just think he's a better shot stopper for one, which is always critical. And I just think distribution-wise, he's better with his hands and feet. So whether that's something that Frank will look at, I don't know. Whether there's still a future for Kepa at the club, again, I don't know. But really important for him to get to get that clean sheet and to make that appearance. And from what Frank said, he's been very professional off the pitch, hasn't moaned, and we could have worse number 2. So hats off to him there. But yeah, Morecambe had early chances. And then obviously Werner getting off the score sheet. Mount with the opener, of course. Mason Mount, he's been criticised maybe for his lack of contribution in the final third, particularly with goals and assists. I mean, I can't fault his effort on the pitch and his desire, but I think when you think of attacking midfielders, particularly if you look at the manager himself of what Frank Lampard used to be, those midfielders who get, 10, 20 plus a season, it's almost, it's a forgotten thing nowadays. But great to see Mount get off the score sheet. And it was a good effort from distance as well. Took his chance really well. And what I liked about the whole performance is that we took shots today. and put balls into areas that cause danger. Now, again, whether that's because of the opponents we were facing that made it easier, yes, you could arguably say that, but you still got to deliver. You still got to put them away. Moving on to the second goal, I mean, it was great to see Havertz and Werner linking up. I had a conversation with a friend of mine who thinks that those two need to play together more often. You know, just because of the national link up that they have for Germany. We saw little bits of them coming together, playing some nice passes in and around the box. But again, it was quite a quiet afternoon, really, for both of them. I mean, Werner's chance he couldn't have missed, really. It's just a crossfield ball from Ziyech, and then Havertz managed to kind of angle the header back across goal, and then it was just a simple tap in from the 6-yard box for Werner. Havertz getting his goal, and I think it was Hudson-Odoi with the other one. So, look, from Frank's point of view, he'll be, it's ticked all the boxes. We've got a clean sheet. We've won the game comfortably. Havertz and Werner both getting off the score sheet, which is probably why he wanted to start them in the starting 11. Hudson-Odoi probably has been our most informed player in the last 3-4 games. So it was good to see him get on the score sheet as well. And he seems to be creative, and he could bed in a starting place. Good to see Ziyech again getting some more minutes on the pitch after his hamstring injury. To be fair to him, he's one of those players who does create and does try to go for goal. I think that's something that Chelsea fans get really frustrated with, that we just don't have pops at goal from distance for some reason. We try and tinker it around the box and almost delay the opportunity sometimes. And I think just sometimes when you're 20, 30 yards out, sometimes if it opens up and it falls for you nicely, you just got to go for it. And that's what Ziyech does, to be fair to him. Had a few chances, didn't really work out for him today, but good to get some minutes for him. I'm struggling to come up with really much else, because I went into the game just thinking it's going to be a pretty easy win for us, but we still had to make it. We still had to do the job in that respect. And it'll be interesting to see who we get in the next round. What I referred to last time, it's a competition that probably we need to take seriously as a club, considering Champions League looks unlikely. Premier League looks unlikely, and we're out of the League Cup. So FA Cup's won in the past that Chelsea have done quite well in. Again, it's luck of the draw, but I was quite happy with the performance, to be honest with you. But I think the more important though is that we didn't really learn a lot because of the rotation that we were expecting, and the fact that a lot of those players won't start. I think the one probably negative aspect that I think that the game possessed was not the change in the formation. I think a lot of fans would have liked to have seen a 4-2-3-1 come into play. Just, it's a great opportunity in games like that to trial a bit and to take risks with formations and personnel, and we didn't really. I know Billy Gilmore got some minutes on the pitch, doesn't usually play, and he was more of a carrier in that transition, in that hole. But we didn't. We stuck with the 4-3-3. And again, it was like-for-like changes in terms of people coming on the bench. I know Giroud came on, made an impact. So, yeah, we didn't learn a lot from the game, but a good win for us nonetheless. And it was an important one for just a confidence booster all round, really, for Chelsea. So, listen, I'm happy. And I think we go on to the next round with confidence, and we go into our league games confidence. We've got Fulham up next, which, again, should really be nothing but a win for Chelsea, really, if you look at where Fulham are at the moment. Even with the results that we've had recently, I think everyone goes through a blip. We're going through that at the moment. But, history suggests that we can turn Fulham over quite easily. They're struggling to score goals. We don't really struggle to score goals. I think sometimes we just struggle with certain stages of the game, which Lampard's alluded to several times, about managing aspects of the game. Game management is a huge one for us. We don't seem to... Sometimes we just have an electric 5-10 minutes but don't take our chances. Other times we don't create anything and leak goals. Like the Aston Villa game was a prime example of that, where we played okay, but we didn't create enough and we got punished. So, but then if you looked at that Villa getting the draw there, did they really create enough to deserve a draw and maybe even go on to win it? No. So I look at things like that, and maybe we just need to be a bit more clinical, but we certainly were today. So yeah, it's positive, but there's a lot of question marks still over what Chelsea are going to do going forward in terms of the lineups and how we play certain opposition. Definitely need to sort out when we play better opposition of how we approach games. He's tried 5 at the back against big teams, hasn't worked. We try the 4-3-3 continuously and do like-for-like changes, doesn't work. So yeah, lots of question marks, but overall very happy with the performance. Morecambe, to be fair to them, a good day out. I think one disappointing thing was a shame that with the whole COVID situation that they weren't able to kind of have the experience of the big away day. I know they're a League Two side, so it's not quite like Chorley yesterday, but good day out for them. And I was having a discussion about the greater things about the FA Cup, and I actually like the fact that the replays have been scrapped, even though it's probably just this season. I think cup ties should just be settled on a day, and I don't even think there needs to be a need for extra time either. I think it should just go straight to pens. So I think the FA have actually got that spot on. I think with the fixture congestion and everything else going on, and with COVID and everything else, I think that's a really good thing that the FA have done, to be honest with you. Similar to the Champions League, really, where I think maybe the away goal rule, there's question marks or whether that needs to be scrapped. And, even stuff like extra time in finals. I mean, you've played 90 minutes of football. Do you really need to play another 30 minutes? I think maybe, if they did extra time with the golden goal, it's slightly different, gives it that different element. And I understand why different associations have different rules, because they want to obviously diversify what they're selling. The Champions League has the away goal rule because it's different to any other competition. I get that. But at the same time, do you really need it? Surely teams who play each other home and away, whoever has the most goals over the 2 legs should go through. It shouldn't really be you get an advantage just because you've scored a goal at home. Does it really make it any more difficult to score a goal if you're at home or if you're away from home? So, and I think tactically also you need to look at those games. Some of the lower league teams, if you're going back to the FA Cup, for example, if it was 0-0 and we're going into the last 10 minutes, are Morecambe really going to push for that winner, or are they just going to settle if they had the first leg at home and thinking, we could have a second leg, we could have a replay at Stamford Bridge, get all that income in, have a big day out. So I think they've got it spot on in the sense that just the one leg decided by pens if it's a draw after full time.